Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Staying Forever Strong. Today I have an old high school and middle school friend, Dr. Ashlee Kamara, on with me to talk about just life, how she's doing, and how she stays forever strong. Hey Ashlee, how are you?
How are you, Alexa? Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's been so long.
I know, it's been really, really long.
Almost 10 years. How sad is that? It's almost going to be
Yeah,
10 in like a year and a half.
I think we're just getting old.
We are. I mean, when you look at it, though, we're only 26, 27,
Yeah,
so we're not that old, but it seems
no,
like it when you think of high school almost 8.5 years ago.
that's crazy. Yeah, that's a long time.
Uh, yeah, I know, I do feel old, though.
Most days, right?
Yeah, so how have you been since high school, college? Tell us a little bit about you and what you're up to.
Yeah, so after high school, I went to pursue my degree in biochemistry. So I went to University of Detroit Mercy to complete that. So that was fun. And then let's see, I gave myself a 6 month kind of a break in between high or college and my doctorate program. And then I moved to good old Iowa. So
Oh,
yeah, that was an adventure. So I was there from 2017 until 2020. So
oh,
we,
like Michigan.
yeah. So we moved. So I was in Davenport where my school was, and then I moved to Des Moines for a little bit, where I was treating patients at the VA hospital. And so then after that, I moved to Illinois. So my husband and I have been here since March. So
Oh, it's like the very beginning of the
yeah,
pandemic.
yeah, kind of silly, right? But I want to say, so we moved here in March. I want to say like the first week of March, or like maybe the last week of February.
Oh, so
And
like before.
so,
Yeah.
and so then St. Patty's Day, I believe it was, like that weekend, our governor here shut everything down. But the week prior, we went to the mall. We're like, oh, we're going to have plenty of time to explore. Like, it's fine. We'll come back another day.
Oh.
Boom. The 17th, everything just kind of shut down. So we're like, oh, okay, probably should have spent more time. Right? So yeah, I'm here in Illinois. Doing pretty good. My husband and I, we opened up a practice. And so we're just two chiropractors living in Illinois.
Is it just the two of you guys in your practice, or do you have other doctors?
Nope, so there's just the two of us. We have an amazing staff. Sue and Roe, they are awesome. So we don't know what we would do without them. So it's been a
Oh,
blessing. Yeah. Hmm.
that's so cool. Like to have
Yeah.
your own practice, and it's like with your husband, like that's just so fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I think it's good to, have your space, but we work really well together, which is awesome. So, and I love it. He's awesome. I love him. So he's a good
Oh,
guy.
yeah. I hope so.
Yeah, right. We work together, live together.
Um, how's how's the transition been from like moving to Iowa to Illinois, and then have you worked the entire time of the pandemic, or were you guys not working for a while? Like, how did that all?
Hmm. So we were very blessed once we moved from Iowa. So I didn't have the greatest of experiences in Iowa. Like that's kind of common knowledge for me. I post about it sometimes, but I just didn't like it. Like it just wasn't for me. It was just
Yeah,
very kind of, I don't know. There was a lot of issues with the racial stuff there.
yeah, I
So
see
that
that.
played a huge factor for me. And I normally am not bothered by all that stuff, but it just kind of got to me a little bit. So the transition from Iowa to Illinois was like night and day. Like I really, really, really love it here. Like I really like it. And now that I'm in practice full time with my husband, because when we purchased it in March, we did not close. We closed for like 2 weeks for like cleaning and stuff.
Yeah.
But we kept it open. from the very beginning. And the previous owner, she's awesome. She's so awesome. So the transition was really, really good
Oh,
for
okay.
him and I. Yeah. So it was awesome. I think more so for me now, it's, coming through the mental blocks of the things that, I went through with Iowa, and like trying to overcome that within myself and just making sure
Yeah.
that, I'm confident and I feel good, and you're in the right headspace is very important, especially in this line of work too. So mental health is huge, and that's why I really wanted to connect with you, and you reached out, and I was like, absolutely, let's do it. So this is very important. So I really appreciate you as well for
Of course. Thank you.
doing all that you do. So this is awesome.
Well, thank you. So,
Yeah.
kind of going back for a minute, when you were
Mhm.
talking about like Iowa, how did you have a lot of friends there? Like, is that where you met your husband?
Yeah, so we met in 2017 of April. What was that? That was March and April. So we met there in Iowa, and so yeah, everything was just kind of aligned, and then we got married in May of last year. So
Okay.
we kind of snuck off a little bit, like nobody kind of knew that we got married. So that was kind of a big thing for my family. They'll probably watch this and be like, "Yeah, you didn't tell us." so, so yeah, so we kind of snuck off, but it was what was meant to be for us, and
Yeah.
we got married in a church in Bloomington, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was, so let me back up. So while I was finishing school, my husband went to Illinois and worked with another company for a little bit there.
Okay.
So that's how we got connected with Illinois and kind of like
I was
started
gonna
to really
ask you
like
that too, actually.
it. Yeah. So that's kind of how we started liking it, was Bloomington. So yeah.
Very cool. And like, did he have a lot of similar experiences to you in Iowa, or and how is that like? How are you doing now from it? Like, because you were saying with the mental health, like, how was that?
Yeah, so he really didn't have as many experiences. I'm pretty sure he had, some for sure being in
Yeah.
Iowa. It's just kind of the name of the game. The diversity out there is not really the greatest within the school, so that was a little,
Okay.
yeah, so that was tough. But we had a great community on our campus, so it was really cool. Regarding now, it's like I could care less. Like, I'm living a great life. I love it here. I keep. It's so funny because there's a lot of people that think that, okay, the property taxes and stuff out here are pretty high, but like, so what? Like, you live in a bigger city. Like, why
Yeah.
not? You pay a little more. That's okay.
You're
So,
making probably good money, like.
yeah, exactly. So it's not all about that for us. It's a good environment. It's a good place to raise a family. So hopefully one day we'll have a little family.
I'm
So
sure you
yeah.
will, and it'll be a great one.
Aw, thank you. So
How
yeah.
did so for marketing and like how did you get clients? Was it a lot of like the old owners, like they just kind of stayed on?
hmm Yeah, exactly. So the previous owner, we just kind of were grandfathered a lot of the patients. And so more so now, kind of things are calming down. Everyone's, okay to be outside. So our clientele is still building. So, we're getting a lot of new patients. We're seeing a lot of people, and that's kind of the goal. We want to
Yeah.
be able to, provide chiropractic services to as many people as we can reach. It's got some really good benefits. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome too that like you were so lucky to have at least a base to
hmm
start.
Yeah.
You got that was probably nice that you at least had some to start with and then you were able to
hmm
grow from there.
hmm Yeah, and then we have a lot of buddies that are kind of transitioning now into their own ownership kind of a thing. So it's really important. Pre-existing clinics is kind of the way to go. Just kind
Yeah.
of gives you security before you can get in. So
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Um how so from the times like you struggled, like we all have our own struggles at some
hmm
point. what is something like you do to help you to stay strong during those hard
Yeah.
times?
Yeah. So a lot of comes through with just like prayer and, you know, meditation, calming down, exercise, which is huge.
Yeah.
I think the foundation of who we are within our household, rather, we're believers of Christ, and so, you know, He's in control, and we can't really do much without Him, and that's, kind of what we believe in. Praying really, really, really helps a lot, and exercise. So during school, I think I was about 225 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, I gained a lot of weight. Alexa, listen. So I was eating, I could talk about food all day. I was eating pints and pints and pints of ice cream. I know, like a day. So,
It's stress
and
eating.
yeah, I was stress eating. Unfortunately, I lost my dad, kind of like smack dab in the middle of school. Yeah, so that was a lot on top of the other things that were going on. Um, and so I just kind of like just started eating my way through the tunnel, and I lost control a little bit. And so then once I started to work out consistently and at least watch my diet and stop eating pints of ice cream at a time, it started to turn around. So I think I lost about maybe 45 pounds or so. I'm still on the slow train right now. The last 20 is always so hard. So
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard, but it's just getting in the routine. My husband works out a lot too, so that helps, but it still doesn't really get me out of the bed sometimes. So I'm trying. So yeah, but
You
definitely.
look good to me from what I can
Oh,
tell.
thank
So,
you. Thank you. Lots of physical activity though. It really helps for your mind, and
yeah.
helps you know, bring things into perspective and just relaxing.
Yeah, I'm sure that, I hear that a lot. It's hard for me just because, like, I have chronic pain, so it's, like, hard for me to
Right.
sometimes exercise, but I do try and when I can, like, I like to walk and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, how has it been with your story after the accident and stuff?
Um, I've been I've suffered a lot from, like, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of mental health because, like, for about a year, no one really knew what was wrong. I was just
Mm-hmm.
in this constant pain, but everything came back fine.
Okay.
But then I finally got diagnosed with central pain syndrome, which
Okay.
is, I don't know if you probably
Mm-hmm.
have heard of it.
Yeah.
So I have that, and, like, I had a mild traumatic brain injury on top of it. So I'm in, like, my head gets
Jeez.
in a lot of pain often still, and, like, I get
Wow.
really foggy, like, 4 years later still.
Wow. So that was 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was 2 months after I graduated college, so it was July of 16.
Wow. What happened? I didn't know that
Yeah, no,
story.
a lady ran a red going and
Uh,
distracted driving, going like 60 miles an hour, and T-boned
oh.
on my door. Yeah.
Jeez.
I walked away that night, like everyone walked away that night, but it was later on stuff started like I just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't feeling good for a long time, and they kept telling me it was depression.
Hmm.
And I went to a chiropractor for a while for like my neck issues, and
Mm-hmm.
just things weren't working, and I was finally sent to a neurologist who
Yeah.
basically told me that I had a concussion and post-concussion syndrome because I was still
Yep.
suffering the same, like I had the ringing in the ears, the dizziness.
Mm-hmm.
I still get it all the time.
Wow.
So it's been hard. I can't work a lot,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like 3 hours a day if I'm lucky. Like it just kind of
Mm-hmm.
depends because like my body, I can't like stand too long, but I can't sit too long. And then
Right.
more I'm on my computer and stuff, then my brain just gets overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to do my best, and I've been
Yeah.
blogging and podcasting about it and talking to different people just because I want to help others that
Yeah.
maybe don't feel like they can.
Absolutely. And
So
that's what matters. Like,
yeah.
that's a beautiful thing. I don't know if you knew, not after high school, but this was kind of I think it was like my junior or senior year. I fell on the stairs. I fell down the stairs and knocked my head on the last 4 stairs, or the steps, and my mom thought I, like, was carrying a TV, like, that's how loud it was, how hard it was, so yeah. I had a concussion, and I had experienced those post-concussion syndrome
Yep.
symptoms, and it is terrible, like,
Yeah.
I was having the worst migraines, like, and nothing would help. They tried morphine, they tried all the top of the line stuff, did not work. I had like sunlight sensitive
Yep.
IV drip medicine, DHG, that actually worked, and that was the only thing. But then I would be in the hospital like weeks at a time trying to, get the medicine to work, but nothing helped. So I
Yeah.
totally understand. So it's a
There's
tough job.
nothing. Just
Yeah,
helps. So it's just like
yeah,
a day at a time. Like and then like all these medications give me a way worse side effect. So it's like not worth it for
yes.
me. I
Your
don't want to be
kidneys,
addicted to
your
medications. They don't even
mhm.
make me feel good. It's like I don't know how people. It's so crazy, like to think like some of these medications, like people can actually be addicted to.
Oh,
And it's
for
like, I don't
sure.
even feel good like on them. Like I don't even want to be. It doesn't make me feel like relief or anything.
Right.
So
Which then you probably suffer more with the symptoms because you can't take the medicine. Oh my gosh. I
so
understand. I
yes,
understand, but just let you know, this is a very important thing. Like bringing awareness to chronic pain is
yes,
huge. So that's something that real people experience, and I think a lot of people in like the medical field may take it as, oh, the person's complaining or not
yep,
really like take it as seriously. But from a health provider, like know that it is a serious thing. Like I have
yep,
family members and friends that have fibro, kind of same
yep,
chronic pain
yep.
thing. And it's terrible. It's terrible. So please know it's real.
Thank
It's a
you. Yes.
thing, and
Yeah, I had doctors, male doctors telling me it's in my head basically, and that I'm a
mhm,
normal, healthy girl, and I should be
yeah,
jumping for joy and not crying. Well, and then I'm not in 10 out of 10 pain because I'd be
right,
basically dead. And like, well, you see me 5 minutes every 6 months, but maybe
right,
those 5 minutes I'm actually tolerable,
right,
but still in pain.
yeah,
So that's like when I started, like, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need to help others because there's so many people. I happen to just be really strong, and I had such
mhm,
a strong support system with my family that like
mhm,
I don't know what I would do if I didn't have
right.
that. Like I feel that's why I want to be that support for people that don't.
Yeah, and I think that's the part that a lot of people miss is like just because you experience things like, and I call them testimonies, right? Like
Mhm.
it's your testimony. You have to share it with the world because there's people that don't know, or they may listen to that person that tells them that they're crazy, right?
Mhm.
Sorry, my phone's dinging.
No, you're totally
um,
fine.
but but like, they may tell them like, it's all in your head, and they may actually believe it, right? And
Mhm.
so it's important that you're telling them like, hey, look, like it's not actually in your head. Like let's talk about it. Let's acknowledge it. And I feel like in our culture in general, like we kind of like to hush, like be silent about certain things. And it's like, no, like speak up, tell us what's going on and how, you can help. Or I know you can also provide resources for other advocate groups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Well, thank you, and thank you for sharing your story too.
Absolutely.
I think it's
Absolutely.
so important in any way that we can
Mm-hmm.
to get the word out and our stories out.
Yep. It's not for us, so it's awesome.
Exactly. Is there anything else, any advice or anything else you'd like to share with my viewers?
Yeah, so just all the viewers, just be patient with yourself. It's a journey. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, even if it seems very far away. Just stay focused, take a break to, have that place of just like, hey, let's calm down, let's relax, go to that special place where you can find refuge and just be calm. Because there are times where, having a migraine, you just want to be in a dark room. Take
Yeah,
that time to go and be in a dark room. Like
right.
everything else that can wait, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you're no good for anybody else. And,
Exactly.
there's a lot of people that deal with chronic pain that have families and husbands and kids and dogs and,
Mm.
big responsibilities. And sometimes the disease and the pain can be debilitating. And
Yep.
it's, just take a break, calm down, take care of yourself first. That would be my biggest advice.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, it's like they say
Absolutely.
on your on the airplane, like if you ever have to put a mask on, it's you put
Mhm.
yours on first.
Yeah. Worry
It's
about
the
you
same thing. You
first.
got to take care of you first because you won't be able to
Mhm.
help anyone else.
Exactly. You can. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way. So take care of yourself first, and you know, you can take care of everyone else next. So yeah. Thank you so much though.
Thank you, and thank you so much for coming on. I so appreciate it, and it was so great catching up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, this was another episode of Staying Forever Strong. Bye, guys.
Bye.